Hey there planners, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mimi. Today we're gonna break down my paycheck number 2 for September. So let's start. Now for this paycheck breakdown, I am using my own spreadsheet. I made this 2 weeks ago. So my paycheck number 1, it's the first draft, I guess, and this is my updated. So let's start. You know what, let's oh no, I'm gonna need the calendar, so I'll leave it like this. Okay, so this is, and you guys know that I work with the my system is green for income, red for expenses, and purple for savings. Okay, so I'm not going to use the erasable anymore because they're not like pencil. Like pencil is not going to come back if it's hot or cold, but this is thermal ink, so I don't want to run the risk of making a mess out of my sheet, you know, so in case it gets too hot or cold. All right, so with that said, let me put this back. Okay, so paycheck date, that is the 23rd. So 092320. And this is paycheck number 2. Okay, now for income, let me see what I got. I have so many little sticky notes. My paycheck was, okay, here it is, $673.56. So I was expecting 1,000, but it turned out less because I'll tell you in a second. $673.56. So for my income on this pay period, I thought, this is from my job part-time. I work part-time. And I was expecting 1,000, so that didn't happen. I missed a few days. I have been feeling sick, and I actually have an appointment today in a couple of hours, so it's not a cold. In my last video, I was like very like stuffy. Even like right now, it's hard for me to talk. It's not a cold. There's something wrong with my throat, and I'm scared. Yeah, so I'm going to my doctor today. They made like an emergency appointment for me. So and then after that, most likely gonna ask them to send me to a specialist. And we'll see what happens. But yeah, so I missed a few days, so now I'm short like about $400. So let's see what we can do with this, because now the numbers are gonna have to change. So let's see. First category is groceries. Second category would be gas for my car. Then, let me see. Okay, so those are the categories that are always there. Then for cash envelopes, I have spending. I have my daughter's allowance, and I have my couponing. All right, now for my 22-week challenge, I have week number 1 and week number 2. My 10% savings is going to be from 9/23/20. So 9/23/20. And this is paycheck number 2. My totals and rollover. Okay. Okay, so now let me see for my expenses, what do we have here? So for this paycheck, okay, credit card number 2, I already paid that. So I really don't have anything else here that needs to be paid. Okay, my debt Snowball, it's gonna be credit card number 1. And credit card number 2. Sinking funds, I just put this category here for now. I'm not sure exactly how I'm gonna work this yet. So I'm just gonna leave it blank for now and we'll see. I'm not gonna have a lot of money left over. And I can actually, I don't even know if I'm gonna have enough for my car payment. Okay. I have to show you my paycheck number 1 and what happened with that, but let's finish this first. Okay, so now groceries, we're gonna do $200. For gas, I overestimated again. So gas for last paycheck, I went with $50, but I only spent $25. So this pay period, I still have gas a bit in my car, and I'm thinking I'm gonna put $40. I keep going down lower and lower. All right, so spending, it's always 100. My daughter's allowance is 25. And my couponing is 50. All right, now for savings here. My 22-week challenge for week 1, it's gonna be $22. And for week 2, it's 22. So 44. Okay, now my 10% savings, let's see how much I put. $63.30. For my 10% savings budgeted, it's gonna be 100. But we already know it's not the actual, it's gonna be 67.30. So I'm gonna add it already because I already put that in the bank, 67.30. We already transferred the money, 67.30. Okay, so I'm not gonna add the actual amounts yet until the end of the pay period, until I get my next check. So for now, let's do 240. Oh, let me see when my next paycheck is gonna be. The 7th. Okay, so credit card number 1 is to be paid before my next paycheck. So I'm gonna add it here. Okay, and that is going to be $50 until I'm able to pay it off. My plan was to pay off with this paycheck. My plan was to pay off credit card number 1, but I was not expecting to miss so many days and lose about $400. So that it's not gonna happen. So the money that I didn't make because I was sick is the money that would have went to pay off my credit card. So it's okay. I'm gonna keep adding whatever's left over. I'm gonna keep adding to that, and hopefully if everything's okay and I work next paycheck, it's gonna be full paycheck because I already worked the 2 hours. The 2 weeks that I had to work to get my next paycheck. All right, so I'm hoping that for October, like the first paycheck in October, I'm gonna be able to pay this off. All right, so that's 240. Okay, this is always the same spending, babes and couponing. It's 175. And then we got that. Okay, so let me do the math real quick, and let's see if we're gonna have any money left over. I purchased this at Walmart. It's cute. I like the color. All right, so 240 plus 175 plus 44 plus 100. Oh, no, plus 67.30. Plus 67.30. So just doing the rough estimate here, I'm still gonna be able to pay some money to extra money to credit card number 1 or credit card number 2. Okay, so we're doing good. Budgeted income, it's gonna be 1,000. Budgeted expenses are going to be 559. And the variance for that okay, so if I would have worked all of my days, all of my hours, and I would have made the money that I was supposed to make, I would have been over $441. But we already know that that's not true. That it's not gonna be, that's not gonna be right. So what we're gonna do here, okay, now this rollover, guys, this rollover, it's going to be for my 22-week challenge. Oh, I have to change the name here, I think. Envelope rollover, yeah, that's what I'm gonna call it. So from this envelope right here, whatever I have left over, it's gonna go here. But this is gonna stay out of the bank because I'm only taking this for categories, 1, 2, 3, 4. This 4 things out of the bank for cash. The rest is staying in the bank. So I'm not gonna add, my rollover is not gonna go back to the bank. It's gonna stay in a cash envelope until I have enough to pay something with that. Okay, so now let me show you my month of, so this is my estimated paycheck number 2 breakdown. Okay, a couple of days after I got paid, I already know that this is not gonna be right. I'm either gonna be short or I'm not gonna have this much, because see, I'm missing like $400 out of my paycheck. So okay, but we'll see what we're gonna be able to do in the next 2 weeks, and see how much money I'll be able to move over here. So now for paycheck number 1, let me just show you. Here are my numbers. These are my actual numbers. So this is what happened. I estimated 1,000, but I made 1041.05. Out of groceries, I spent the 200. My gas, there was a huge difference in gas. I estimated for 50. I only spent 25. Now my car payment, my husband paid 2 payments already, so we don't have to pay until October 1st or October whatever, the 13th, my car payment. And not only that, but it looks like the amount went down. And I'm thinking because my husband's been paying double every month, like we're 2 months ahead, or we were, because this October is going to be the first month that we actually are not ahead. So this amount is going to be different. Now credit card number 1 is the one that I'm trying to pay off. The monthly payment is 50. So instead of paying the car payment, what I did is I pay the car insurance. So we have 2 cars and this is our insurance. $245.32. So that was not budgeted because I didn't know that my car payment was 2 months ahead, so I didn't have to pay that. And my husband's like, well, why don't you pay the car insurance instead? So we did that. And then my credit card number 2, because I have the money from the car payment, we went ahead and paid the minimum payment for credit card number 2 ahead. So with this paycheck instead of my second one. And yeah, so those were my expenses, $569.32. Now for my cash envelopes, everything's the same. I spent all the money, and I don't know if my daughter spent her money, but it doesn't matter because that's her money and we're not gonna put it back. So this is gone, so that's the same actual. Now for this right here. For my weekly challenges, I do it like this. I just put, this is a box from a powder that I purchased and it smells so good. So I put my little tickets here. So I never know what I'm gonna get. And I like that. You know, I like the fact that it's just like, it's just a guessing game. So that's why I always budget for the $22 amount, which is the largest ticket that I have. For this 2 weeks, I actually only spent $27 on my weekly challenge. The difference of that is $17. And I'll tell you what I'm gonna do with this and that and why it's here. So that was my actual spending for that. And for my 10% savings, I budgeted 100, but it was 104. This is what we transferred to our savings account. Now for my final numbers, let me see. Let me get you a little bit closer. Okay. Now for my final numbers, this is what happened. My income was $1041.05. My expenses were $875.32. Now my rollover. You can see here that I put a minus. So I'm minusing this from my actual income, and I'll tell you why. Because when I took the weekly challenge money to fill in my envelope, like this, I already took the cash out of the bank. So this cash is not going back to the bank, okay? So I still have to account this because here, I wanna know how much I actually put into my savings, you know, into my weekly challenge. But with the rest of the money that I have here, I need to minus that from my income because this is not going back to the bank. I'm not gonna take the $17 and put them back, and they're not in the bank. So this has to count towards my savings, my expenses, right? So I have to minus it. So if I add 27 plus 17, it's gonna give me 44. This is what I took out of the bank. So that's why I'm doing it. Instead of rollover as an adding to the next month, I'm gonna take it away because I'm not gonna put it back in the bank. Okay, and I'm not gonna use this rollover until I have enough so I can say, okay, I have, let's say, $100 or $50. I'm gonna put it in the bank and I'm gonna pay, or I'm gonna take it directly and pay it to something. That's why it has to be out of my income. Okay, so 17 from this right here, the difference, and then my expenses $875.32. My actual variance is $148.73. So what we did is we left that money in the bank and we made a payment here. So this is my closing numbers for paycheck number 1 for September. I am the variance is plus $148.73. This is my number 1. You see how small this is? And now I can see better. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.